So 1985 saw me leaving Bath and heading towards London. I'd given up my full-time academic career at Bath in the expectation that I'd be able to make my own way again in London, even though I had no particular promise of any money at that time. I was very lucky that I was able to get, through the generosity of Eli Lilly, a 5-year stipend to set up a chair of biochemical pharmacology, and after that I managed to obtain a Wellcome program grants and subsequently Wellcome Trust Senior Fellowship Awards, which kept me going for most of my career there. But to begin with, the Harvey was just an informal collection of departments on the Charterhouse Square site, but we took a big step forward in formalising this in 1990 and 1991, when we created a completely freestanding, self-supporting institute within the medical school grounds, but not dependent upon them. And we called this, of course, the William Harvey Research Institute, and we set it up as a medical charity registered with the AMRC. And the following year, we also set up William Harvey Research Limited, which was a commercial spin-off company which enabled us to trade our ideas and dispose of intellectual property that we may have in exchange for research funding. We were very lucky, largely again through John's influence, to receive major funding from Ono Pharmaceuticals, and they kept us supplied with a good supply of grant money for about 5 years, and even a bit more, a bit longer than that. And this enabled the Institute to expand from about 30 people up to about 100. And we had very, very good times, very, very productive, and the Harvey, as we called it, quickly established itself as one of the premier sites for training postgraduate pharmacologists in the country, if not the world. However, there was a downturn in the global financial markets in the late 1990s, and this eventually found its way through to funding sources from the pharmaceutical industry, and eventually Ono had to stop the funding stream, and we were suddenly a bit cut off without our major benefactor. Although we had other grants coming in from a variety of sources, we realised that we'd have to take some action in order to preserve the structure of the Harvey, and in particular protect the careers of the young people who were really grown up by now and matured in many cases into very, very fine scientists indeed. So one of the options that we considered was actually merging with the medical college, and we'd had discussions with them over the last, say, between 1995 onwards. But when I was director of the Institute from 1998 to 2002, it fell to me to put the final pieces in place in the negotiation and also to sign off the merger deal. And in exchange for our assets, both material and intellectual, the medical college agreed to stabilise the careers of certain key individuals within the Institute such that they could be taken onto the payroll, staff the college payroll, thereby protecting the structure of the Institute for the next, well, until now really. And it's worked out really well, thanks largely to the inspired leadership of subsequent directors, but the Institute now has over 350 people, and it runs its own degree courses, postgraduate courses, and is probably the largest institute in the world that deals primarily with pharmacological matters and pharmacological affairs.